The Advent Health 400 is underway.
Already a great push from the back of Kyle Larson.
Who will lead lap 1 from the outside? Bell at the line. Gregson way down on the track apron. Remember, no out of bounds here. Third place, Gregson and Larson.
And you see Larson right up the racetrack to put himself right in front of Noah's car to make sure that he has no chance. Bell will start saying, okay, I'm going to show you the bottom, and then try to maybe shoot the top and get position. But Ross is going to be looking backwards as much as he is forward. It's going to be super hard to make that pass on the bottom.
Who do all these drivers think is the hardest guy to pass? It's that one car right there. Jamie?
Well, yesterday in practice, Ross Chastain in the one, they were just too tight, and they said it was hurting him on the long run, so they adjusted, freed him up, and right now on the radio, he says he's tight just like practice.
That's not a good sign when you're out in the lead like this.
Well, you just have to be patient with it at this point because you just don't really know where the racetrack is going to go, Clint.
And up front, Larson to second. Behind Chastain, ahead of pole sitter Christopher Bell.
Look how much time he saved by being able to use that one car as a reference point. Drove in right to the back bumper of Chastain. That's a huge aid when you're pitting. Just trying to figure out where that reference point is where that line is down to the speed. Regan?
Well, Denny Hamlin, an 11 car hits pit road right now. Report to the team is that his car is good. It is stable. He likes it. And the 17 of Chris Buescher, he's pretty good, just too tight when he went to the top side. Jamie?
Well, we talked about Kyle Larson and what he needs, just a little bit free, was driving it off the right rail, a little bit too much. The one as well, air pressure adjustment, 4 tires for both. Only
12 cars did not stop.
They're door to door, those leaders off of pit road there. It's going to see who wins down here in 1 and 2. Chastain stayed way low on the inside and was able to get there.
So we'll see how it sorts out after things cycle out.
Yeah, and sometimes right on the apron down there, the front of your car will get really tight, and there's a ridge that runs right through the middle of that apron. And sometimes if you hook that ridge right through the middle of the apron or low, it makes it better.
Here's leader Christopher Bell coming onto pit road, and that will leave just 4 cars on track that have not made this pit stop.
Look how much time he saved and made up on pit road.
Jamie.
Christopher Bell started this race on pole. It was the first time this year he started on pole, saying he feels pretty good, doesn't know what he really needs, likes the balance. It's neutral right now. It'll be 4 tires for the 20.
So Derek Kraus, Austin Hill, Daniel Hemrick, and Burton.
Yeah, and you see Kyle Larson is going to get by Ross Chastain right there. And this is when that loose car that used up the right rear tire the last run, they probably made some changes on it, and Kyle Larson has gone by Ross Chastain. And this is the time when you can make that middle and bottom lane work a little bit better than 20, 25 laps through the run where everything goes up the racetrack.
Corey Heim too fast exiting pit road in the number 43.
Here comes Chastain back to the bottom, guys. Is he going to be able to clear him? He's going to move up in front of him. He does. That was close, Kevin.
Well, both of these guys know that it is super important to keep control of this race, and that bottom of that racetrack right now is pretty good. We saw it on the start of the race, and we've seen it for the first couple laps firing off on these new tires. But you also have Riley Herbst in front of them, you know, that they're getting ready to lap, who wants to stay on the lead lap. So you're going to have to navigate that traffic well.
Now keep in mind, that's for second place. Right now is when the leader crosses the line, and that is Derek Kraus, who started last in this race, but has not made the pit stop in that number 16 as he makes his second start of the year. Once he pits, this battle right here will be for the lead, but Kraus right now is in front of this race at lap 38.
Yeah, Kraus is hoping for a miracle with a caution flag to come out.
Hail Mary at best, right?
Yeah.
It's happened before.
Yeah,
saw it just last week.
We saw his teammate Daniel Hemrick capitalize on that a few weeks ago, but right now Ross Chastain has gone back by Kyle Larson, that's a power move in my opinion, Clint, because we expected that 5 car to drive off, and before we even knew it, he was driving back by the 5.
Yeah, very impressed with Ross Chastain in the 1 car. Here, as we say that, here comes Larson back to his inside.
So 29 cars on the lead lap. With Kraus pitting several 1 lap down, at least until he makes his stop.
Look at that.
There
Slide
we go
back
again.
up in front of him. Going to cross over. What a battle.
Oh, shuts him off.
And that's what you have to be aggressive right there in taking that position. We saw it with Larson moving up the racetrack. You see Ross Chastain take that position right back from Kyle Larson.
All right, we've got to go to commercial, but we're going to take you Fox side by side so you can continue to watch this battle. 40 laps complete in Kansas. How about this battle for the lead with 44 laps complete? They have passed Derek Kraus, who is still on the racetrack, but now Chastain and Larson, this is for first place.
It has been a battle. Back and forth, slide up in front of them, cross back over, take position back.
Well, every time I think one or the other is better, then they catches back up to him. We saw Kyle Larson start to fall back, drove right back to him, thought he was going to go by. Ross fights back, keeps the lead, so this is a great battle.
But what you said right there, I love, Kevin. That's what you have to do. You have to back off. Don't stay right there in their wake. Get a run, time it, and pounce on them.
Now, for those of you looking for Major League Soccer, the Seattle Sounders versus the LA Galaxy. That match is starting now on FS2 or on the Fox Sports app. As we continue with NASCAR from Kansas here on FS1. 5th place Hamlin and Bell, the pole sitter. Ryan Blaney closing in there.
Well, we see this battle for the lead has kind of calmed down right here, and you look in 3rd place right there. You see Ty Gibbs. He and Chris Buescher pitted a couple laps before Christopher Bell leapfrogged him, and Christopher Bell went back to 6th, and Denny Hamlin just got around Christopher Bell, so he's in 5th.
Right. We talked about the tire fall off, almost a second and a half. To the point in the race where they made pit stops. So Bell, by staying out those 2 extra laps, it cost him 2 spots. Here we go again.
Back door to door. Kyle's making that bottom work pretty good. He's going to be forced to run the bottom. See a slide job coming. He's going to slide up in front of him. One car's going to time it, fuel back up, beat him to the throttle, and back door to door the crossover.
Yeah, and you see him try to get that little bit of side draft. Kyle Larson chases him down the racetrack to try to slow him down, and now Ross is going to go right back up the racetrack in front of Kyle Larson, try to block his exit. He knew he was going to turn down the racetrack right there, but basically Larson drove up through the middle of 1 and 2 and carried that extra speed to almost do a slide job. Did a slide job.
No surprise, they're both on our Xfinity fastest lap board. 49 laps into the race. Well, last year we set a record for official lead changes at the start-finish line for a 1.5-mile track in a 400-mile race. I think this one's going to set a record for unofficial lead changes, those that happen anywhere on the racetrack and just between Larson and Chastain.
Yeah, these guys are trying to break the record by themselves.
Denny Hamlin passing another one there. You see Buescher and Hamlin in that back. He's coming. He's going to join this party. Denny Hamlin is coming.
Well, especially the way that these guys are racing for the lead. Their lap times, they're giving up 2-3 tenths a lap and letting Denny Hamlin get right back to him.
The fans came, they got wet, they waited. They finally filed into the grandstand. We got racing, and they're being treated to one heck of a show by 2 of the best in the business.
Well, the guy right behind them that's made up the most ground is Ty Gibbs, and if those cars stay side by side, he's going to continue to make ground. But you see Ross kind of give the position there to say, okay, I need to get up the racetrack and not be so hard on these tires.